Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the In My Air podcast. I am your host, Haley Sasso, and we are here today in bed. Let's fucking go. Before we really get into it, I need to readjust because my bun is, hitting the bed. Anyways, whatever. Hi, you guys. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're thriving. I hope you are having the best day ever. How is my day? You might be wondering. Let's think. My day's been pretty good. Worked a little bit this morning. Then I went for a run. Went to a yoga class. The grocery store. Called my family members. It's been productive. Now I'm sitting with some oil in my hair. She's slicked back. We're just here to yip, yap, and to have a little lighter episode this week. Because there's some just random things that I'm like, you know what? I could fucking talk about this for an hour. Am I going to? No, probably not an hour, but long enough, okay? So this week I want to talk about my hierarchy of beverages. Yep. Hierarchy of beverages. Unique? Possibly. Maybe not. I really have no idea. I was just thinking because I am such a beverage girl. It has gotten really, really intense this last year. The amount of beverages that I consume, especially at once. Sometimes I'll have 4 beverages open at once and I'll just be sip, back and forth. It's one of them's water for hydration. One of them is caffeinated. One of them maybe has some more nutrients. And maybe one of them's just fizzy because I love a good texture. I almost said texture, but carbonation isn't really a texture. It's more of a spice. I don't know. I heard one lady describe carbonated water as, what did she say? Glitter. It's glittery water. And I was like, you know what? You're kind of right. My little sister, who's 9, she describes carbonated drinks as spicy, which is just so white, so Idaho of her. I was like, Miriam, come try this Coca-Cola. She was like, oh my God, why is it spicy? And I was like, I can't do this. But there's a lot to unpack about being a beverage girl because it's kind of a way of life. And I also think it's a subtle hyperfixation on something to make day-to-day life a little bit easier. Some people vape. Some people drink alcohol. Some people have shopping addictions. And I am a beverage girl. It's pick your poison. It's really not that deep, okay? The first time that I could ever remember being really focused on a beverage had to have been when I was 13 years old and my stepmom wanted me to come to the grocery store with her, and she convinced me to go by bringing me to Starbucks. And there I was introduced to the Frappuccino. Yeah. And if you're listening to this, you've definitely interacted with a Frappuccino because they hit. They're so good. Even to this day, every once in a while, a Frappuccino would just slap me across the face. And I love it. I remember, what birthday was it? Either my 19th or my 20th birthday. I was like, you know what? I'm giving myself a little pass. I went through Starbucks and I ordered a mocha Frappuccino with whipped cream. It was phenomenal, okay? And when I was in middle school, obviously that was my shit. My stepmom then would buy me one every single time I went to the grocery store with her. So that became our thing. We would literally just go to Starbucks, drink our Frappuccinos, and then go to Fred Meyer and have the time of my life. And there were no notable beverages between middle school and high school, really. Nothing until, I think, junior year of high school when the Dutch Brothers Rebel drink came into my life. And this might be niche. A lot of my California friends don't know very much about Dutch Bros, and they definitely don't understand the hype. I remember in college one time, I drove an hour with all of my roommates to go and find a Dutch Brothers, and I got them a Rebel, my order, which was specific. And I can't quite remember. Oh, it was peach and passion fruit. A peach passion fruit Rebel with pomegranate drizzle, I think. Phenomenal. Anyways, I got it to them. Gave it English. I gave it for, oh my God. I cannot. I gave it to them and they didn't really like it. They didn't understand. But I remember in high school, that was the drink. Like in Idaho, everyone would go to Dutch Bros before school on Friday, get their Rebels, and they had like a ton of sugar and a ton of caffeine. They were quite sugary and they were delicious. And then, fast forward a little bit, I start working at a Dutch Bros coffee. I'm not even kidding you guys. To this day, the best job that I have ever had in my entire life. Like, the training that they have at Dutch Bros is phenomenal. You get put into like a literal classroom where they have like a makeshift little coffee stand. You learn everything. You learn so much. And then at the end of your like little classroom training, like that's like a week long, you take an exam. And if you don't pass the exam, you don't get a job. And the exam's tough. Anyways, so phenomenal. I'm working at Dutch Bros, getting my Rebels all the time for free. It's so exciting. They also have these can Rebels, which is basically just Red Bull. And like on the job, we would just literally shotgun them. Like we would and they still do. Like this is part of Dutch Bros culture, is to shotgun Rebel cans. And I don't know why. It's so fun. It has to be bad for you, but it's so fun and it really builds community. Let's take a quick little intermission in my little beverage hierarchy to talk about the community building aspect behind shotgunning. Maybe we should bring shotgunning into more things. Like, I feel like it's generally not very socially acceptable outside of an alcohol drinking standpoint. But thinking about like how at Dutch Brothers, shotgunning brought us together as coworkers. What if we brought shotgunning into the workplace or into our friend groups? You know, it's just something that really brings you together because there's nothing quite like shotgunning with somebody, because generally you burp afterwards. And it's like, is that really appropriate? I mean, no. But I think it helps you bond with people, you know, like just burping, having a little bit of an uncomfy tummy, getting kind of liquid like all over your face. Like you're kind of just like, you know, it's kind of fun. It brings up the morale and everyone's like, yeah, oh my God, you know, you're cheering each other on. I think that we should be shotgunning in more social situations. This is me thinking, wait, what would it be like if I had like my students shotgun like water or something in yoga box? I don't know how upper management would like that, but I feel like it would be really fun. So whatever, let's get back onto our tour of my beverage hierarchy. Fun little intermission there. Dutch Brothers Rebel. Okay, while working at Dutch Bros, obviously it's a coffee shop. I got into coffee, but coffee really hit me during COVID. A lot of people developed really, really fun hobbies during COVID. Some of my friends learned to knit. Some of them learned to tie-dye. I tried that. But the biggest thing that I adopted during COVID was coffee and making lattes. And what started out so cost-effective and fun has now developed into something that is like a serious addiction of mine. So I got into coffee during COVID when I was at home with my parents. And I had the little espresso machine, and it was awesome. It was great. And then I moved to college, and I hated going to school. I hated it. Like, I hated school, particularly calculus. I did not fuck with calculus. And so every time that I went to calculus, because I usually skipped because I hated it so bad, I would buy myself a latte. Be like, you know what, Haley? Here's a reward. You are going to school. You get a treat. So I started getting, I think, something from Starbucks. I don't know. I'd go to Starbucks on campus, like, before calculus. Then I failed calculus, you guys, with, like, a 36%. Like, I failed so horrifically. I walked into the final looked at the exam and was like, I literally know nothing, and I filled in the bubbles in random spots because I was like, this is better than me even trying. Um, and I think that class and that little moment with coffee is definitely what caused the addiction, because then it started to be like whenever I had to do anything I didn't want to do, I would reward myself with a coffee. Or if I was having a bad day, I would get a coffee. Or if I was having a really good day, I would get a coffee. It spiraled into every single day, Haley needs a coffee. And there was a piece of my life junior year of college when I was living with Kelsey. Kelsey, I love you literally so much. Where Kelsey had an espresso machine and we would make coffee at home, right? And Kelsey was really, really good at using the Nespresso. She would actually often make me coffee, which was literally so kind. But then after I stopped living with her, I kind of stopped using it as much. Like, I did get my own Nespresso machine, but it wasn't hitting the same. And I think that this all relates back to the thing where it's like, food tastes better when somebody else makes it for you, okay? Like, I remember when I was in elementary school, my mom would make me a sandwich. Oh my God, that sandwich would slap so hard. Nothing else compared. If I made myself a sandwich, it was disgusting. It didn't taste good. And so I think that's kind of how it was with Kelsey in the coffees at home. Like, she was so good at making them, and whenever I made them, I just was bored of them. I didn't want it. I didn't really like it. Wasn't a big fan. And so then, after we moved out, I started buying coffee out again, whatever. Coffee basically has become, like, a cornerstone, I would say, of my personality. Actually, no, it is. Like, 100%. Coffee is a cornerstone of my personality because it became the experience of leaving the house and going to the coffee shop and talking to the baristas and trying the different drinks on the menu, and then sitting down at the coffee shop and watching everyone who comes in, doing some work at the coffee shop, making friends, seeing some dogs. Oh my God, then the baristas know me. And now it's not even about getting coffee anymore. Now it's about going to see my friends. But fuck, now I gotta buy a $10 latte. But also, I really want it. So is it that much of a cost? No. It became a big thing. I think coffee is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing because A, it tastes good, in my opinion. There's so much you can do with it, like drink-wise, like it's so diverse. And I think it really brings people together. It's a great way to start talking to somebody. Also, let's talk about oral fixation. I don't know why. Maybe it's ADHD. Maybe it's just being human. I work better when there's something in my mouth. All right, I'm going to leave that there for a second. Chill out. What I mean is, like, if I'm sipping on a little something, sip. I'm a sipper, by the way, like a slurper. I'm a slurper when I sip. I'll be slurping on my coffee. I'll be like, that's literally how I do it. And I'll be grinding on my computer. I'm locked in. Or if I have a piece of gum in my mouth, I'm locked in. If I've got a snack, I'm locked in. But if I'm needing to grind on something and I don't have anything in my mouth, I am wandering here, there, all over. I'm looking around. I'm on my phone. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Something about having my mouth busy just helps me. Even speaking. Literally, right now, I'm so locked in, as opposed to, I think, how I am usually in life. And I don't really know why. I'm sure I could figure it out if I wanted to, but I really just don't care, okay? So, coffee. We've made it to coffee. Then, we get into tea, okay? How did I get into tea? I think that I forced myself to drink green tea because one time, I had a boyfriend who told me that, like, I would be skinnier if I drank green tea. He was like, babe, like, I swear, if you just drink green tea, you're gonna be skinnier. And I was like, okay. And he had a nutrition degree, so I trusted him. And honestly, maybe it's true. It probably is true. I don't really know. But I hated it. I absolutely hated drinking tea, but I would drink it because I knew it was good for me. Who would have thought? Now I like tea. Do I love it? No, but I do like it a lot. Particularly passion fruit tea or what is this? I'm like, what is this one? I don't know if it's hibiscus tea. Oh, I love hibiscus tea. Hibiscus tea, passion tea, honestly any tea. I love mint tea. Again, it's just having something to sip on. I love how I just keep motioning things to my mouth. Get your head out of the gutter, okay? My head's in the gutter, but yours shouldn't be, because one of us has to balance the other person out, right? Yeah, okay, whatever. So we're into tea, and I like tea. I generally will not buy tea out because I feel like it's a waste of money, because tea is literally so cheap. I generally will drink tea at work where it's provided for me, or at home. I'll buy like tea from Trader Joe's and I'll have some of it. Or if I randomly get offered a tea, I'll drink a tea. Okay? Moving on from tea, this has really picked up in the last year. This is like where it starts to get excessive. Like this is where beverage girl kicks in, is that Poppy. Oh my God. Poppy is so good. At first, when I started drinking Poppy, like in 2023, I didn't really love it because it's definitely different than soda. But now I love it. I love it so much. Megan and I recently have been drinking the purple Poppies, the grape. Oh, so good. Grew up my whole life thinking I didn't like grape. I do, apparently. Love the grape Poppy. What else do I love Poppy-wise? Oh, cherry limeade. Really good. Really, really, really quite good. And what's fun with Poppy is it's like I'll have a coffee open, right? Sipping on my coffee. I've also got my Poppy. Because like the carbonation is just like a little zhuzh. It's a bit more refreshing than a coffee. And then I'll have my water. Because I really should be drinking more water. And then I'll probably have a smoothie. Because a smoothie is just efficient. It's refreshing. It also just kind of like is just, it's good. That's 4 beverages. Hella beverages. And it's like, then at that point, I'm not even drinking all of them. I'm drinking like a little bit of each. It's really not getting very far. And we're drinking it in the circle. It's like one, then the other, And the nice thing is like the flavors don't really contrast. Because, just sip of water in between. Oh my God, I'm so hydrated. So hydrated. Peeing? Yeah, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. I pee, I think, more than anyone I've ever met. And that was exacerbated because I was on spironolactone for my acne for a while. But I honestly just stopped taking it a couple months ago. So it's slightly improved. But I still pee every hour, sometimes multiple times on the hour, which is a lot. I am aware. I drink a lot of beverages. I also just have a small bladder. And I enjoy going pee. So there's that. Oh. The next beverage that I would like to discuss is one of my favorites of all time. And I only realized my love for this drink a year ago. This beverage is a crisp Diet Coke with lemon. It is so good. The first time I ever had this, I was in New York City and I ordered a Diet Coke and they put a little lemon on the side of it, as they do sometimes. And I was like, I wonder what would happen if I squeezed this lemon into the Diet Coke. Magic. Literal magic. It's so good. I love it so much. Sometimes if I'm having, I've already had my coffee of the day and maybe I'm a little hungry, but I don't really want to eat a full meal, I'll get a Diet Coke. Throw a little lemon in there. I'm so excited for summer to drink a Diet Coke with lemon in it outside in the sun. I literally can't wait. Okay, guys. Can you see how excited I am to discuss this next beverage? This next beverage is water. I am the pickiest water drinker I have ever met in my entire life. Like, to the point where it's like, I would rather go days without drinking water than drink water that I don't like. This all started in my childhood, back when I was living with my mom. She had like this fridge, but the fridge water tasted gross, in my opinion, and her tap water tasted really gross. But then my dad had like this built-in water filter in his sink that just, it made the water taste so good. And so I wouldn't drink water at my mom's house unless she had like bottled waters, because I just hated the taste of water. And then also growing up, my family had a cabin in Oregon, and it was like fresh mountain water. So good. So good. So imagine how hard it is for me to move to San Diego, and then what? I'm just expected to drink chlorine? Like, the amount of like chemicals in the San Diego water system, insane. The tap water is awful. It's the worst I've had, I think, in my entire life, honestly. It's really bad. And so I just wouldn't even drink water. And honestly, like a Brita doesn't even cut it. Like, ooh, it's so bad that for a period of my life, I was only drinking water if I filled up my water bottle at my yoga studio or like at the gym that I went to, because they had like these fancy water filters that made the water just taste so good. I would just come home and not drink water, right? Oh my God, you guys. One time I dated a boy. Ugh, this guy was such a king for this. He knew that like I didn't like my Brita water at home, and that I would only fill up my water bottle like at the yoga studio or the gym I went to. And so he, at his house, had like one of those fancy water filters. He would like fill up his water bottle with the good water, come over to my house, and then dump his good water into my water bottle for me. And like, I remember one time when he did that, I was just like, oh my God, like I feel so seen right now. Like, this is the best thing ever. All right. And then after he was no longer around and I was just tired of filling up my water bottle at the gym, I got like a membership at a water store, which is, I think, such like a San Diego or like a hippie thing to do. But like, I bought like this 3-gallon jug of water, and then every week I would go and I'd fill it up, and I would just, that water is immaculate, by the way. It's been tough because I moved away from that water store and I haven't like become a member at the water store by my new place. So I have reverted back to only filling up my water bottle like at work and at the gym. But water is so good, and I do love water, but I only love water if it's the right kind of water. And some people don't understand that. Some people are just down to drink whatever. And part of me wonders if they're okay. Like, can you not taste the difference? Like, can you not tell that there's a whole bunch of gross shit in that? Like, for real. Like, Aquafina. Ooh. Aquafina. Generally, I have to say bottled water is never okay. Bottled water isn't okay. Unless it is Life Water or Smart Water. Or water in a glass bottle. Like Mountain Valley spring water. Really, really good. Big fan of that. Yeah, that's honestly my whole spiel about water. I should have had Tyla come on for this little intermission. All right, I'll laugh at my own joke. Moving on to the last beverage that I want to discuss this week. Oh my God, saved the worst for last. Let me adjust my shirt because sometimes I like slide down. Anyways, whoop, just shook my whatever. Anyways, alcohol. Boo. Thumbs down for alcohol. I don't like alcohol, like, at all, honestly. I just don't like the taste of it. And it's one of those things where I feel like I've always been told, like, it's an acquired taste. You'll learn to love it as you get older. I haven't. I drink it and I think to myself, this tastes like poison, which is funny because it is. It is poison. It is gross. Let's be so real, okay? That being said, I do drink from time to time. You know, like for social things. Never have I ever drank for non-social things, have I? No, never. And when I'm having a little social moment, like with family, I'll try like sips of their wine, but I still just won't like it. And so I'll give them my glass and somebody else will drink it because I can't. Beer, oh my God. I drank a beer once. It was a mango cart. Even then, I wasn't really loving it. It was just like all of my friends were drinking them. And so I was like, why the fuck not? Like, why not? So I did. Generally, if I'm going to drink, I love a margarita. But the margarita, okay, it has to have agave, lime, salt, and this one brand, Solento, Solento, from Encinitas, California. It is so good. It just feels clean. It's just lovely. So if I'm drinking, it's a margarita and I love it. That's like the one time where like I'll get down because like you can't really taste the tequila in there, and if it's good quality, then it just flows, and I'm getting a little fucked up, you know? Otherwise, I'll drink a high noon if I'm at a bar and like I need to be drinking. A lot of times when I go out to like dinner or to bars or things like that, I won't drink. I'll just not drink and it's generally fine. But like if I am in the mood at a bar, it'll be a high noon. If I'm feeling wild, like for Coachella or a music festival or for a concert, or if it's my friend's birthday and it's like we're going hard tonight, then I'll have a Cutwater or two, the margarita flavor. That'll send me over the edge. Oh, also guys, like Twisted Teas, kind of love Tweez. I know that's like really childish, but they're really good. Yeah, that's that. I think that's it. That's all for my beverage hierarchy. Um, Random episode. I have so many thoughts and opinions about beverages because it's like all I do all day is drink beverages and find good beverages and drink them and keep drinking them. But I love you guys. Happy end of April, beginning of May. Crazy how fast time flies. All right, I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys next week.